Alright, so very quickly, I just want to bring you up to date on new developments, like how we're doing. So I've been playing a lot of this and establishing how best to sort of keep it running, because as I mentioned, there's this issue with the crumbling block, and I'm just going to run it for as long as I can, and after that, when I'll just have to drill and fill and put something else. But yeah, so if anyone out there can help me with one of these types of trims, like the Bendmaster, that's intact, that's in good nick, I'll either buy it off you or make a trade, you know, because I'd like to keep the guitar all original. It's got a distinctive sound, and the only way to sort of mimic it, I think, will be to do like a Scott Ian dude from Korn style, like Floyd Rose block off of Floyd Rose. So it's like a hardtail Floyd Rose, and it has, like, you know, thrash players, they like it because it has this, like, you know, very sort of high mid punch, has a metallic, that massive metal, it gives it a metallic punch, and that very much has that. It gives it this sort of like brightness, this percussive piano like kaplinky brightness. That's what I want to maintain. The other option is I have a DiMarzio bridge, which is a 6-bolt, so it could be a good drill and fill, and it's like a badass bridge. It's got a massive brass block, the biggest, heftiest brass block, with the DiMarzio sun in it, like machined into it, and the actual bridge part, like this part of the bridge, like this, comes up like a badass bridge. So it's a big block of brass, and my one's chromed, and the chrome's come off first, so it comes out like this. It's like a big fucking enormous chunk. It's hell of a weight, and that is from the same period. It is chrome though, and it would change your settings up, but that would also, if it was like either a soft tail or blocked off, that would have a hell of a fucking thud to it. But you know, I'm not sure the Encore's the right guitar, but it is in the same age group. So got a few cool new bits. There's a guitar on its way from Mad Malco. I want to show you these, like hot tone pedals. They're like the officially smallest pedals. Now the normal size of a like mini pedal, right, is like that, okay? So relative to like a Boss pedal, right, okay, it's like that. That's the size of it relative to a Boss pedal. So we've got like those. Now check these out. Look how small they are. Now they're absolutely tiny in comparison to a Boss pedal. And actually these are similar pedals. This is a Gent, right? And it's a modern heavy metal pedal, so comparable to the metalcore, with like 3 modes. And what I like is the knob at the top, and there's a blue light comes out of that knob. So the indicate, you know, in it being on, comes through the thing. I'll demonstrate at some point, but it's got like a little thing to stop you from like killing the settings. It's heavy, it's sturdily built, but it's tiny. I mean, even compared to like the mini pedal, like I say, like look how tiny it is. So they're very cool, these little hot tone things. They're not like massively cheap. They're like about 50 quid. But they aren't just a sort of like cut it and paste and copy and paste stamped out like clone, like a lot of the mini pedals, you know, there's like 8 or 9 different brands of the same thing. These are just a little bit more unusual. This one's really good. It's an octave pedal. It's a white light that comes out there, blue light on this one, which is like, it's called the Gent, and it's literally like a modern high gain amp, distortion with 3 modes. This is an octave pedal, and you can go like plus 1, -1, and -1, -2, 2 modes, and if you hit that, it introduces like a little bit of doubling delay on it. But this is a really good sounding. I mean, I've got a Behringer one of these, and I have several models. This is really good so far, anyway, and it's a very pretty little pedal. So it's like, yeah, a little octave divider. So they're very cool, the little hot tone pedals. They're funky, they're very unusual. K-Me's are a lot better in real life and a lot nicer put together than they look on Amazon. They look kind of like cheaper, and these are really cheap. Like, they're really cheap on Amazon. So I've got an analog delay, a digital delay, and a tremolo. Chris Hodgson, if you're watching, the digital delay is going to go on the acoustic rig. I'm building a pedal board for the acoustic, and I'm building a pedal board live, and the live one's going to be mostly Behringer. and it's like, I'm not being mad or making too much of a point. Right, so next on the list is Sonicake, and these are really well constructed little mini pedals. The knobs light up on these. They've got these little rubber slips, but the knobs actually light up. That one red, that one blue, and they're very heavy, very sturdy construction. And I've got a chorus there, which is a copy of a sort of neo-clone sort of area, and the other one, it's like the CE5 chorus ensemble that I have in storage, the Boss one. It's very much that ensemble sound, and then but in the other mode, it's a more, I won't say CE2, but a more simple, sparse chorus, much nicer, and a nice unit. Altogether, that's a very useful, very noiseless, very solidly well put together. And these are not expensive. You can get these ridiculously cheap. I've seen this one, which is this is the same sort of circuit. Like these, you see, are very similar to the same circuits of Tom Lyons Engineering, Donna, and a host of other people, and they do copy the circuits. Now, I've seen this for 16 quid on Amazon. If you've got the Prime membership, you could get this for 16 quid the next day. And it's like a three-way mode, so it's like normal, modern, and classic. As it's going through the sort of, this is called a plexi box in other languages and things like that. It's very much like a sort of Marshall stack in a box. Quite basic. Actually, very competent. Like those plexi boxes, like the one that Dave Simpson is enamoured with and has done really great sounds out of, the Andertons. The Andertons have done their own pedal line, and it is basically these, and I'm not slagging them off at all, no, because they're at the other end with quality control. They're playing them and yeah, this is a pedal, we're prepared to release this as ours. So I was a bit sort of suspicious of Dave giving them rave reviews, but he's got a relationship there with Andertons. They help each other, and I think, hand on heart, they've genuinely tried to sort of make their own product, and it's okay, it's the same as stuff you can get on Amazon, but it's their own thing, and it's you've got the dude at the end doing quality control. It's a model that I'm thinking about myself for other things. So there's that. Now, this is big news. Oh, right, no, hang on. Samson headphone amp, very useful little monitoring system. Now, my best chorus pedal. This is a wonderful pedal. I'm not going to pin it down on exactly how I'm going to describe it, but very sort of classic, super analog warm, really fucking beautiful modulation, crisp. And I don't know whether it's anything or worth anything or anything, but it's just a great sounding and feeling pedal. And it's another acquisition, and it's that, which again is a regular sort of Boss sized pedal. It's very interesting silent switching, but it sounds amazing. I had to do a little fix on it. It was crackly, and I fixed this, by the way. I fixed this. I've got the bass chorus working, the Behringer bass chorus. This is an old one. They don't make these anymore. They're a new pattern now, but I got that working. Can I do it mono though? It's you can have it as an optional stereo out. You can only have it mono. I haven't got the stereo bit working, but I've got it working, which I'm really proud of. And this one I took. It was a bit of noise. There were noisy pots, but I sorted it out, and very easy switch cleaner, contact cleaner. And this is a really good sounding chorus. This is going to end up on the rig somewhere. Certainly, I'm pleased that I'm no longer bound by the chorus ensemble Boss one that I've got, which I bought and was really pleased, and I wanted the basic Dodge if I could get it. I love the Digitech chorus sound, but I ended up getting the Boss one, the CE5, and I was never that happy with it until 2 years in. Now I'd always keep it, I wouldn't get rid of it, because it's a specific sound and it's good at a couple of things, but it took a couple of years for me to really be comfortable with it. getting those sounds. So I'm actually really made up to have something that's more CE2 like sort of direction, more Ibanez, you know, the lilac colour chorus that reminds me of. But what a nice piece, and possibly sonically the best one here, and the biggest surprise for anyone watching, and the one that they'd have to sort of go and have a look at. You know JHS, yeah? You know JHS, you know Josh online, you know JHS Pedals, the boutique. Did you know he'd done a wah pedal? Yeah, no, very rare, really rare. You know. Oh, what have I got here? Is that JHS wah? Is that a JHS wah you've got there, Mr. Fox? Yeah, it is. And I'm not lying, I'm telling you the truth, this is a JHS wah. But there's a bit of a joke there, a bit of an in-joke. So this has got some age to it, I've got to admit. Like, and sonically it's fantastic, but it's hard to run it on the peaks because of the nature of the switching. I've got to work out either how to best play it, or I've got to work out another switching system. But sonically I love this, and I'm really, really pleased with it. The effects all came in a job lot. You know, a blessed friend and supporter of the channel, love him to bits, and he is in the middle of changing a studio from being like a studio, you know, like mine, but with 4x12s in it, like, and proper, like, you know, detuned 7-string sort of hard metal, and he's gone over into full, like, it's all like modular on the PC. So, like, you know, like his gyro sounds, like the you know, the profiles for the, you know, doing the Josh Duplantier fucking gyro sound is so impressive, and I love what he's doing. But it's like a lot of this stuff is gathering dust, and he's you know, like, carry a bag full of pedals, and it's like, oh, I've got like fuckloads of pedals. So yeah, there's a surprise. Now there's another great one on the floor that I want to show you, and it's funny that it matches. I'll show you two more. So, like, Donner, like, noise gate, and this is really good. It's actually much better than the Behringer one, which is a clone of the Boss, right? This is fucking miles better. It's just simple, straight to the point, really effective, and really transparent. Like, you would not know it's on the signal. It doesn't do any kick at all. Now on the floor, matching colour, look, so this would be, this is called the Greenland, right? And this you can switch between a Marshall small box 50, what it is now. This is an amp in a box, so you can have cab sim. If I do that, right, it's now the cab sim's running, right? Turn it off, turn it off. Now I'm going to hold it down, and so instead of having like on and off the Marshall, what we've got now is like we're switching between the Marshall small box 50 and a black-faced Bassman, like in maximum breakup. And again, you know, you turn that on and it's the cab sim. And we go, so for recording it's great, and it's got a little reverb on it. That little knob at the top there's reverb, and as you switch between the channels, it remembers where it is. So if you've got that set, and then you go in there and you move the knobs around, when you go back to there, it's everything's set. So you can have like reverb on one and not on the other. But it's a remarkable little pedal. It's, you know, really clever bit of kit. I can't speak highly enough of it. So Demon Tube Screamer, definitely my favourite tube screamer of the moment. My Crazy Cacti, which I adore, with its boost function, it's like a crazy thing. There's a lot of, like, that can follow a lot of acts. I can show you a lot more about that later on. We've got the Green Lane, which is like 2 amp voicings in a box. You can run it as a distortion pedal with those voicings, or you can use it as your like DI amp. So a good thing to have as a spare for like running directly into a PA. I haven't done that test yet, and I think that's always vital. That's where things like the Marshall DRP1 used to impress me and first got me into DI recording like 20 years ago. And obviously the biggest news, you must have spotted it, yeah, Crush 20. So what I needed, I had a Crush 12, as you've seen me do a video, and I loved my Crush 12. I particularly love the way that it's all in one channel and like it's ultimately usable. And so this one's selectable channel there, and you can put a foot switch in, and I'm going to. But this is that, see that there? that's an auxiliary input. The Crush 12 didn't have one, and it rendered it almost useless. You know, so it was only an amp that for practice, for when you wound it up. There was really not much point in using headphones on it. This one, I've got the drums going in, I've got the headphones, and I'm plugged into it, and I'm fucking loving it. And I have been really missing the orange. I'm so pleased and proud to have the orange back again. So I am now again. As soon as I gave it to Chris, I missed it. I absolutely had to give it to Chris. You know, I'm really doing my best to encourage Chris. He's actually a very good guitar player, but he'd never let anyone say that to him, I don't think. But you know, I've overheard him at times, you know, and he's doing stuff with like hammer-ons and pull-offs, and you know, it's actually got a lovely touch on the guitar. But I'm kind of, you know, expressing my love with like musical instruments, so it's like I wanted to give him that little amp because he's quite enamoured by his like the little battery powered one, and it is a genuinely good little practice amp. And so now, and he got that, and he bought a crate, second-hand crate that had loads of like effects modelling and shit on it, which if he didn't buy it, I would have bought it. I think it was only 30 quid or something, and it was on like a Yamaha guitar strap, but it was like it's about 20 watts and like, you know, tranny, but and the deal we made is if he didn't like it, I'd buy it straight off of him for what he paid for it, so he couldn't possibly lose. And that's a wonderful little amp. He's also got a PV and a Watson, and so and a Fender, which he hasn't like dipped his toes into yet. And so that, like, if you've heard me reel that off, he's basically got the same sort of amp variety as I have, pretty much. In it conveyed as like very like small amps, and like I'm really kind of proud of him because it's like he's actually got like the full backline for sort of sessioning at home. You know, couldn't be better. And the orange was just kind of like that final jigsaw piece, and it's a good fresh orange, freshly squeezed orange, and it was nice and tidy and whatnot. The box is in fucking Mandy's loft. I'll get it. And but yeah, so I've missed it since the moment I got rid of it. If you go to like some of the early hotel videos, you can see it there, but like without the auxiliary it's useless, like, because I can't like practice at night, you know, with drums and shit. And it's great. It's like they've scaled it up from the 12, and it's just like, you know, everything's just a little bit thicker than Oscar. But yeah, it's cool. We've got that. So I've got a wonderful selection. Like the Black Star's wicked, but I've had trouble as a pedal platform because the amp, it's got the 5 different amp models that you run, and I've not been able to really find a perfectly like good platform, like a transistor cheapo Fender Frontman G is a great pedal platform for testing pedals. You know, it doesn't have to be so expensive, but some things are good at pedal platforms, some aren't. And that is one of the weakest links of the Black Star. It's not a particularly good pedal platform. It's okay when you use like targeted effects, like, oh, I'm going to run this drive, the crunch drive low, I'm going to use a tube screamer to push it into that sort of like aggressive territory. Like, it's good for that, but on the whole it's just a bit finicky with like as a pedal platform. Each channel acts a bit differently, and some of them are terrible and some of them are good. So, you know, whereas this is a brilliant pedal platform, as I knew from the 12, like the 20 would be better if anything, so that, you know, just a bit of extra headroom. And sure enough, it's a wonderful like pedal platform, and I'm really enjoying having the orange again. The drive does work very differently to the 12. Like the tone at the end is the same, but how they get there is totally different. I think tonally the 12 is more interesting at this stage because of the way that you balance the gains and the drives and the distortions. It's like there's overdrive, distortion and gain, and you have to balance it out, and you go from your completely crystal clean all the way up to your like completely saturated. And it's immensely interesting, all the areas you can branch off. This one, it's more clean and dirty, divided, and so you like, you know, you're going, because it's not quite as like left field, you know. This is more conventional, but it absolutely sounds, it's got that beautiful orange like juice, you know. So pleased as punch to show you that. I've got a guitar on the way. It's being sent off at the beginning of the week. It's another Axel Telecaster, It's an Axel Eldorado. If you go to Mad Malco's Guitars channel and type in Axel Eldorado, you'll see a review of it. It's like a blue crackle like my Bloody V, the red one, but it's blue and crackly, and it's got the same neck as this, but it's Johnson, which is Axel by another name. So it's got one of these necks somehow got on it, and it's one of the Badwater series, and it's like blue crackle, and it's like a super telly. It's got like a hot rails and all that, so I'm really looking forward to that. It's so fucking far up my alley that it's poking out the other side. I mean, I've been on Malco's shoulder with that guitar since before he bought it, and it's really cool. It's good to have a fucking sonic brother, and like, you know, there's like, this will be like another building block, because my Marshall amp come from Mad Malco, and my Golden Goose, my Floyd Rose guitar, came from Mad Malco. And they've both been amazing successes, and you know, and they're both in plenty of videos. So yeah, that's pretty much brought you up to date. Oh yeah, so this was, well, Behringer Vintage Delay. That was another one that I acquired, and I think that's it. So yeah, as you can see, like, a few like pedals and stuff, and of course, you know, that's not the ones that are in storage. Like my, you know, I've got all my Governor and all my fuzzies, and all my metal pedals, you know, because I collect any pedal that's got the word metal in it. Like, I'll probably buy it one day, but yeah, my metal zone. So, you know, basically all my spine, my sonic spine, is still in storage. So, you know, I've got like a dozen more pedals at least kicking away. So yeah, starting to get there now. It's like, I can't be grateful enough. Like, people have been really wonderful. So yeah, I can't really, you know, it's too early to sort of really make any noise, but I'm going to be cracking on with the wah next time. Like, you know, it's like, you've got to hear it, and I guess like some of the more interesting ones. But yeah, really pleased to show you the Orange again. Oh, I will see you out on this, because I got this out of storage, so I will see you out on this. So bugger. 1 second. Hang on. Fucking this right up. There we go. Right. Do apologise. Here we go. Manuel Raimundo. What's going on? Am I focusing in? Is that like a zoom? Hey, look, I bought these strings, like, they were like 11 quid or something ridiculous, 12 quid, like, so gonna give them a go. I went for the middle gauge, because I don't know what I want yet for flamenco, so I'm learning. So there you go. I think I've zoomed or something. It's really odd. Anyway, love you very much. More soon.